Hello, this is Top Preps Sports Interviews by Sunil Sunder Raj. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Jayden McLaughlin, a junior at North St. Paul High School in North St. Paul, Minnesota, and a point and shooting guard on the varsity basketball team. Once again, Jayden, thank you for taking time out to speak with me tonight, and great to be talking about hoops. And can you just talk about here, preparing, said to play on the varsity basketball team your junior year here at North St. Paul High School?
Preparation time, I think, is very important. I had a lot of time to work my craft this summer in the spring, just right after my sophomore season. My first game is actually tomorrow against Stillwater at 7 p.m. So I think me and my team are very ready. We have our plays down, we got our craft down. We actually get the gym tomorrow early just to get some shots up. So we're all prepared, and yeah, I'm very excited for my first varsity start.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. I mean, a lot of buildup, a lot of anticipation. You get those goosebumps. Going here. I said the day before. Just so about, I mean, to put on that basketball jersey, the sneakers, everything, like the whole uniform. I mean, it's got to be a lot. I can see you're really, I said excited for this for tomorrow, but it's got to feel good. Always that regular season opener. There's so much again. In terms of having wanting to have a successful season a year here, Jayden.
Yep, very excited for tomorrow. I think once I step on that court, or even before when I'm warming up, I think all the goosebumps will go away, and I think I'm
Mhm.
very ready for this game.
Hey, you played AAU ball, during the summer. You talked about how much that really, in terms of the skills, the fundamentals, keeping that fresh. Just talk about that experience. Said playing, during the summer as well.
So during the summer, I think that was probably my biggest breakout season for exposure and also my
Mhm.
skill showing.
Mhm.
Um, Went to a lot of prep hoops tournaments. That's what sparked up my confidence. That's what sparked up my whole skill set.
Mhm.
I had a lot of people come out to watch me, including Fresh Coast Hoops. I had some couple coaches come watch me. Of course, my dad always helping me while recording the games and posting it to YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, I went to the biggest prep hoops tournament in Chicago, the Last Dance. That was a very big tournament, the last one, NCAA approved. And that's what like drove me to work 10 times harder than I did before.
Mhm.
And I have a lot of confidence now. I'm ready to go into the season, and I couldn't be any more excited, like I said before.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, be able to travel around the country and get to said uh, again showcase your talent and skills, and then go up against some of the top competition. Again, across the country. Talk about how special that was, and just in terms of matching up against other athletes as well.
So matching up against top talent, it was pretty nerve wracking, to be honest.
Mhm.
Everyone has those nerves.
Yeah,
But once I stepped on the court, I felt pretty good just playing against the top competition. Um, and some games were very tough because that's like the highest level
yeah,
of basketball. But I think it prepared me very well for my school season. And I
that's
think it's
good.
going to go very well tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's outstanding. And let's just talk about in terms of the game of basketball. What are some of the intangibles? What stands out to you? Obviously, you've been playing for a while. What is it about the game? Like year after you come back, you play it. I mean, pretty much year round. But just what is it about the sport that you really thrive? In, and just again, what makes it so unique here, Jayden?
Man, it's hard to explain. I just love the sport of basketball. I love
Yeah,
picking up a basketball. I like shooting a basket and making it. I like
yeah.
the crowd cheering for me. It's just a great environment to be in.
Hmm.
Basketball never fails to make me happy. And even though I might have some bad days, that just kind of gives me more motivation to work on my craft.
Yeah.
And I only see basketball as a positive thing in my life, and I'll continue to work on my craft.
That's great. That's great. And let's just talk about some of the components that you need to be successful in terms of strength and conditioning, nutrition, rest and recovery. I know you take pride in enjoying your work ethic. Um, just talk about those various factors in terms of like just implementing them into your game as well, Jayden.
So for strength and conditioning, I do have a personal trainer at
Okay.
Lifetime, a gym, and we do work on everything kind of at once. We'll be in the
Hmm.
gym for about 30 minutes, then we'll be up for lifting for about 30 minutes. We'll end it off with some stretching or resistant band work, and that works on my quads, that works on my legs, that works on my strength.
Hmm.
And for shots, we do game time shots always, dribbling
Yeah.
off for a shot, um, like basketball moves, dribble handling. I think it
Hmm.
helps a lot, and I've noticed it because I was training with him for the summer, and going into a summer game, I noticed a big difference.
Yeah, I do. Those are really essential in terms of, again, uh, be able to again excel on the court as well, and eye coordination. There's so much that goes into it in terms of. I know they've incorporated yoga also into your routine as well. Talk about that. I mean, that's again, it comes down to being durable and flexible, and trying to avoid that injury bug as well. There, Jayden.
So for yoga, I do stretches for about 10 minutes after our training session, stretching my hips, stretching my quads, stretching, getting into the knees.
Hmm.
Also, even doing my arms and my back muscles. I think it really helps release my muscles. And for nutrition for that, after I usually go get a protein shake, eat some fruit, eat a nice meal of chicken, steak,
Hmm.
get all that protein in me after a workout,
Yeah.
and I think it's very helpful.
Yeah, it's again, it's fabulous. I mean, just the fact that you're able to keep your body in tip top shape. Everybody talks about the physical aspect of basketball, but again, you have to have that mental sharpness and focus as well, because if you sort of lose that, track of that, that could really get you off your game. Just talk about that. Just be able to like really keep everything like in perspective as well. Like when you're playing the sport.
So for mental toughness, I think that's probably one of the biggest things in basketball because once you get distracted, it's basically over for you during a game.
Yeah.
So what I like to do if I'm having an off game, I don't even really think about it. I don't think about anyone in the crowd. I focus
Hmm.
on what I'm supposed to do as far as playing my role. If let's say I have an off shooting night, I
Yeah.
get back on defense. Let's say if I'm playing bad defense, I talk to the coach about it, maybe switch off with my teammate,
Yeah.
and I try to do the best I can for help. And as far as maybe getting a little upset and frustrated, I'm human. Everyone gets frustrated.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
usually, I usually just take a deep breath, get back out there, start fresh.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, take people behind the scenes, like, during the course of a game, what's flowing through your mind, like, whether I said you're, on the offensive end, going for a jump shot, a layup, and then back on defense, of course, guarding people, but just and even on the bench, like just what I said, I'm always fascinated what an athlete is always thinking, because I said you do have 4 quarters, but just like what are those moments for you as an athlete?
So when I'm on the basketball court, I don't think about anything else. I focus
Mhm.
on what's going on in the game.
Yeah.
I examine the court, see what we're doing wrong, see what they're doing wrong, see how we can take advantage of that.
Hmm.
When we're playing basketball, that's all I think of. I think of what I can do better, what my team can do better, and how we can take advantage of the game and get a W.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really, it comes down to a team game. I'm wondering that it's again, you're very flexible in terms of the position you play as well. I mean, point and shooting guard. Talk about that. Like, the fact that you have dual roles and you really can switch, said from, either position. Talk about that, Jayden.
So I really like what I do on the court. I like shooting. I like starting plays. I like controlling the pace.
Hmm.
And I'm very known for shooting out here in Minnesota. That's why I play shooting guard. I'm a very perimeter threat, and I also like to control the pace of the game. If we're being rushed, I like to slow that down, maybe get a play in, get an easy layup. And if I let's say if I'm shooting a lot, I like to take advantage of that, drive to the rim. If I'm driving a
Hmm.
lot and they're guarding sagging me, I like to shoot it.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. Hey, I wanted to just backtrack, just talk about this year's team, and the coaching staff, and just, where you see, this team, what the expectations are for this year's team, this year's varsity team.
My expectations for this team is very high. Me and these players have been playing for all of our life. We've been playing since fourth grade.
Mhm.
We really like our coach. We have some set plays. We have good defensive plays. Our coach is very good, very loud, very talkative, very helpful to our players. And yeah, I have very high expectations for us this year.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Hey, we all know it's just not being an athlete, it's being a student athlete as well, Jaden. Wanted to ask you just in terms of that time management organization, and you mentioned that I said you've been doing very well in the classroom, averaging said a B and above. Just talk about again because it's not easy balancing that out. I mean, a lot of athletes cannot handle the rigors, the demands of being a student athlete because you talk about the practices, you talk about the games, the lifts. There's so much watching film, there's a lot that goes into it. Talk about how you've been able to, again, manage, said that role.
So in the classroom, as far as classrooms, I always ask the teachers for help. Even after school, we have an hour of study hall where we get to work on our work and watch some film. After that, get to practice. Once I get home, with the help of my mother, I always do my homework at home, make sure that
Hmm.
gets done, and then maybe
Yeah.
watch some more film. And that's kind of just an everyday habit now, going to
Hmm.
study hall, getting work done, taking advantage of that, and then
Yeah.
getting on the floor to work.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, you mentioned before your dad, shooting, said your games. I want to ask you in terms of, the videos, also social media. The fact that athletes are really tapping into that, like in terms of like with Twitter, being able to post their content, have said colleges, universities, especially the coaches and recruiters, look at this material. How important that is because the earlier you start sometimes the better because the fact that, you really, can make maybe sometimes a decision earlier, than later. Just talk about how important that is to you, Jaden.
Man, I think social media is very, very important. If it wasn't for Twitter, I don't think I'd be where I'm at today. There's a lot of college coaches, recruiters, and scouts out there, and I
Mhm.
like to keep them updated with my highlights, even reaching out
Yeah.
to them, getting a couple responses about my highlights. I like to post my schedules. Maybe they'll come out, watch the game live.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think social media is very important, very good tool.
That's great. Uh, I, of course, what's most important is support from family. I wanted to ask you what they've meant to you along this journey, especially, with the game of basketball.
I think family support really motivated me more. Whenever I had bad games, they talk to me about it. Maybe we'd
Mhm.
go to the gym, work on our craft. And my family is all in Canada, so whenever they get to come out to the games, I think that really gives me a lot of confidence, makes me real happy.
Yeah. It's great. Hey, you're representing your culture, your community, the Manitou, Rapids Indian Reservation, Ontario. I had to ask you about that. It's got to carry a lot of like, it said pride. I mean, it's got to mean a lot to you just in terms of, again, knowing that they're back there, but the fact that they're seeing, you uh, definitely enjoy your experience, here in high school and of course in athletics as well.
Yeah, I'm so glad they're able to watch me. And just because we're up there, not a lot of people play sports. Sports isn't really big in my area. So
Mhm.
I'm very glad and blessed that I get to be down here in the States to play basketball, show them
Yeah.
how I'm progressing and send them my game links. And I really like to make my family proud.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I'm glad to hear that. Again, with all the pressure that said you're under in terms of academics and athletics, I know that to de-stress, kick back sometimes when you have that opportunity. I know your hobbies are watching YouTube videos on basketball, astronomy, and also playing video games. Talk about that moment, those moments, because the fact that you're able to be in a more relaxed environment and just for that time being, and then, of course, get back to what's, is vital in terms of, your academics and then playing basketball. But just talk about those moments as well.
I think it's very relaxing. I think it helps with the mental structure. Um, just laying back, watching basketball videos,
Hmm.
seeing how they play also, maybe studying a little bit. Of course, playing video games, every teenager. I think that
Yeah.
very relaxes and then getting back to it
Yeah.
on the court.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it relaxes the mental.
Yeah. So I'm wondering when it comes to NBA or maybe college basketball, any players that you pay particular attention to, Jayden?
So they're not currently playing right now, but
Okay.
there's a couple native basketball players that I follow and seen their highlights on. You might
Okay.
know him. His name is Bronson Koenig for the Wisconsin Badgers.
Hmm.
There's a currently right now. There's a couple basketball players I am watching. There's a couple from Minnesota here. There's
Okay.
Prince from Minnehaha. There's um there's Bryce Phillips. He's also a very good basketball player, and I like
Hmm.
watching people from my hometown just
Yeah.
to be in college basketball. I think that gives me motivation too that I can also make it.
Yeah. No, that's terrific. To hear that. I think you're really in a good position here, Jayden. In terms of with the younger kids and athletes out there. Uh, what would you say to them if they're watching this interview, like in terms of trying to move up that ladder? You know how tough it is. I mean, you really have to, again, perfecting your craft, working year after year, not taking a single day off. I mean, it's like 24/7, 365 in terms of, that grind. And, summertime could have been taking it easy, but here you are playing AAU all around, said the place and, really working it day and night. But just wondering what you say to the kids out there.
Take advantage of your time, definitely. Even if you don't end up playing at AU, there's always time for you to go outside to a park. There's always time for you to go to an open gym. There's always time for you to have a basketball in your hands. I'd also say definitely take advantage of Twitter, social media for your
Mhm.
basketball, posting your highlights. Because, like I said, there's a lot of scouts and coaches out there to look at your videos.
Yeah. And before you get the final word here, Jaden, I was wondering just about North St. Paul High School in terms of the student body, the administration, athletic department, just in terms of support for you, your teammates, coaching staff. Uh, what is that? How is that transpired for you?
We do have a boosters club at our school, which my mom
Okay.
is included. They like to
Okay.
promote our. We also have a very big social media handle for our school, with over 1,150 followers. They like to post our games, give updates a lot. We also have a very good student section, very loud, very entertaining,
Yeah.
very cheering, and it's also very exciting for us.
That's great. Hey, you get the final word here, Jaden, in terms of your message, for family, friends, teammates, the coaches on the varsity basketball team, and student body administration, athletic department, North St. Paul High School, as well as the community. I'm sure community is important there. Say in the North St. Paul area. Just you get the floor here, Jaden.
Thank you. Thank you for watching my school play. Thank you for watching me play. And I'm looking to have a great season, showing off my highlights to the world.
Sounds good. Hey, Jade, and again, just an incredible honor and privilege being able to speak with you. Congrats on your success. And so you're not done. You still got this year, next year, your senior year, and can't wait to see what you do these next 2 years. And wishing you all the best here during the 2022-23 regular season.
Thank you for having me on this interview with Top Preps.
Welcome. Thank you.